So, Lucinda Karma wants to talk to me. And Lucinda Karma wants to talk to me about my views and some of the things that I said as far as it pertains to the trans community and escorting and things of that nature. So Lucinda, I'm not sure if you guys have seen it, but Lucinda has been tagging me relentlessly since yesterday, okay? Lucinda has been tagging me relentlessly since yesterday, and she so playfully created a meme that says I've been missing, and I have not been missing, Lucinda. I have simply been put in Facebook jail because one of the other ladies that did not agree with my opinion decided to report a video of mine from last year, and Facebook blocked me because that's what Facebook does. So, basically, Lucinda did not like the idea of me saying that, I did not agree with the idea of trans prostitution and that I felt like the girls could do better and things of that nature. And although, you know, she got a whole different thing from it, that's not my problem. That's neither here nor there. So now Lucinda has wanted to talk for 2 days, and I'm about to grant her this conversation. Once I grant her this conversation, and I will say this again once she comes on, once I grant her this conversation, I'm not talking about this no more with her or anybody else, because my views are my views, and my whole point of voicing my opinion in the negative towards trans prostitution is all for the greater good. It's because I want to see the girls do good. It's because I want to see the girls out here progressing. It's because I want to see the girls out here doing more than being prostitutes. I've talked to a couple of different girls today, yesterday, the day before that have said that since this whole backpage thing has been shut down, they haven't been able to pay rent. They don't know what they're going to do for this. They don't know what they're going to do for that. Girls are crying to their sisters on the phone and all this other stuff. And like, my thing is, that's the stuff that I'm trying to stop. Those are the things that I'm trying to prevent. Those are the conversations that I'm trying to keep from happening. And so my thing is, whenever Lucinda gets on here, whatever she has to say, she can say that. But you know, I'm just letting you all know, for the trans girls who are on here, share this live with your friends. Share this live with everybody who you feel like needs to see it. Share it with all of the trans girls that just don't get it, that you need to get it, that you feel need to be a part of this conversation, because this is the one and only time that I'm going to have this conversation. I applaud Lucinda for actually calling me out and wanting to have a conversation with me rather than sitting inside these groups like a lot of these girls do most of the time. You know, and talk about me behind my back. So that is part of the reason that I'm even acknowledging this conversation, because those who really know me know that I don't engage in this unless I'm really, 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 really in the mood and I really, 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 really have the time. And today, I'm both of those things. I have both the time and I'm kind of in the mood. So it depends on how Lucinda comes at me. This is not supposed to be a read and gag fest, but if that's what she wants to turn it into, then that's what it'll be. Because I just, like, I don't, my patience is like, out the window. Like, I had this much, and now then I had like a little bit of less than that, and then I had like that much, and now I just don't have any at all. So if you know Lucinda, tag her. I put her name in the thing, so she should have got a notification or whatever the case may be, since she's been looking for me so hard. I really expected her to be the first person to join the live, but you know, Lucinda, I'm here. You know, I'm no longer missing, so you can properly take down the milk carton with my face on it. And thank you for that picture, girl. That was a cute picture. That was a cute picture that you posted on that milk carton, bitch. That was a bomb ass picture of me. Like, girl. You could have picked an ugly picture. That was a cute picture. But anyway, I'ma wait, you know. I'ma wait for Lucinda to, you know, pop on through. I need to, where she be at? Because, you know, she was all up and down my timeline on my other video. And on my other page, she was busting all through and tagging everybody and asking them, have they seen me? So where is Lucinda? Because I don't want to have, and that's the thing, Talia, they forget that I'm about that life. The only reason I didn't respond to her yesterday was because I got blocked and thrown into Facebook jail, and I didn't see none of that shit because I have a life and I was doing things, okay? And so it wasn't until I got home at around 4 in the fucking morning that I even realized that she had been calling me out. But, bitch, I'm a battle rapper. I don't mind getting in the ring with nobody about my opinion at all. Like, I don't know if they mistake it because they think that, you know, because I use proper verb noun agreement that I'm not that girl, but I'm very much so that girl. You know what I'm saying? I'm very much so that hood chick from Miami 305 that grew up in the projects. You know what I'm saying? So please, by all means, make my day by giving me a reason to be that girl. Like, I don't have time. Where is Lucinda? Like, where's she at? Because I ain't got all time, you know, I ain't got time all day either to be here. Somebody invite her. Because I know one of y'all know her with the amount of people that she's been tagging and shit. Let me see. Because I don't have time for this either. You've been calling me out all day for 2 days in a row. You know. You've been calling me out for 2 days in a row. And, you know, here it is. So, there it goes. I'm live. We're friends on this page, so she shouldn't have no problem getting in. Where you at? Because I don't feel like having this conversation already. So, where you at? I got other things I could be doing with this beat than sitting here waiting to talk to you. This is the shit that be killing me. Okay, cool. I thought we was already friends, Lucinda. I thought we were already friends, but the little invite button thing isn't on here, so I guess we're not. I wonder if I can hold on, because I don't want to have to clock out of this live. So let me go get the MacBook so I can see if I can add her, and that way I'll be right back. Oh, wait, no. Boom, there it is. I don't do that loud, misguided individual. Oh, well, bye. Like, I don't have time for y'all today. I really don't. Interrupting one another. Yeah, I see.
What up, bro?
What's good?
I don't got no animosity towards you. So
Okay.
let me say that first. I'm not trying to bash you. But let me get directly to the point. And directly to the point is you started your live basically saying that you're happy that Backpage is shut down. And that statement right there alone is highly offensive. I'm not going to even get into everything else you said because we can start right there. You saying that you're happy that Backpage is shut down is basically going against your sisters, our sisters, and disrespecting what they're about to go through. Disrespecting people that I know right now that are feeling it. You don't understand what I'm saying? It's bitches right now that are not able to pay their rent, that are not able to live according to how they've been living. Bitches that are going to be going through a whole lot of hell right now. And even on the stance of you talking about bitches could get jobs and shit like that, ain't nobody going to get a job right the fuck now. There's nobody that's going to get hired at a job right the fuck now. And there's going to be bitches that need money right now. You understand what I'm saying? Right now they need money. And right now they're not going to be eating. And right now they're going to be fucked up in the street. And right now they might be kicked out and lose all of their materials and belongings. And for you to say that you're happy about that, that is really fucked up. And that's what I need you to understand. I understand that you said your rant. I understand that you're using your feelings. And that's fine and dandy. And I understand that you want the best for the bitches. But what I want you to comprehend is that for you to say that you're happy, that is fucked up. You basically just said that you're happy that our sisters are going to be on the streets fucked up.
Are you good?
Yeah, I'm waiting for you to say something. I said what I'm saying. That's my opening dialogue. Let's go.
Okay. So first and foremost, I am happy. I don't take back what I said about being happy about Backpage being shut down. Now, what I think a lot of y'all did was y'all took it personal, right? Y'all took it real personal. I never said
it is personal.
I didn't interrupt you. I never personally came at the girls and said, oh, you specific bitches, I'm so happy you're not gonna be able to pay your rent. I am so happy that if you helping your mama, I'm so happy that she finna go without this month. I am so happy that this and that is about to happen. I never said that. What I am happy about is that now the girls have a little bit more gumption to go out and do something other than sell pussy, because we're more than that. It's so many girls that got so much talent sitting on the beat right now because there's nobody telling them, sis, you can do more. It's 1,000 bitches out here painting faces for girls to go sit on the beat. For what? When you can paint those faces and get $100, $200 something to go and do that shit. All of these gay boys are dominating industries that trans women made popular. The girls showed these boys how to put on wigs. The girls showed these boys how to do makeup. The girls are showing people how to do all of this shit just for them to turn around and use it for the beat. For what? And then my thing is, when I say I'm happy Backpage is shut down, I'm happy that now the girls got to think about how they're going to survive. Because it's real easy to say, oh, I'm a survivor, when you can hop on there and put a $5 ad up. But when you really got to survive, bitch, can you do it? When you really got to get out here and make ends meet, when you really got to make some shit pop off, can you do that? Can you really be a survivor? That's what that really is. I'm happy that now the girls got to show them stripes. All of them years on the beat, all of them years you spent hustling, sis, put them to use. But my thing is, a lot of y'all want to sit back and say, oh, the girls use it as a come up. They use it as a way out. But if y'all were using it as a come up and a way out,
what the fuck are you happy about? I'm not understanding that.
I'm happy that now the girls got to put those skills to use. You have no choice but to try to find a job right now, because guess what? Right now, you can't.
And are you saying that these jobs are available? Are you saying that there are jobs out there for us?
The jobs are available, Lucinda, but guess
what? No, there's not, honey.
You don't have to go get on nobody's clock to get a job right now. The same way you use your body, your pussy, your ass, and your dick for some girls, you can use those brushes that you use to paint your face and paint a sister's face for $50. That's what you could be doing right now.
$50 is not paying the fucking rent.
It don't matter. It's money.
$50 is not paying the rent.
If you need it, you'll do what you have to do. If that's what it's really about. But it's not really about that. Y'all are making excuse after excuse after excuse, talking about it's about survival, it's about money. If it's about money, if it's about what you need to get right now, you'll do whatever you have to do to get it right now. As a mom, I watched my mama do what she had to do right now. Even if it was
your mom wasn't a fucking trainee, bitch. What the fuck are you talking about? Your mom ain't a trainee.
When you're really about trying to get what you have to get and pull yourself up by your bootstraps, boo, you'll do whatever you have to do. That same mentality that you have before you get on the beat, doing what you have to do to make ends meet, you'll do that no matter what. You'll do that no matter what. No matter what.
You're not comprehending. It's like you're not comprehending.
I'm not comprehending.
It's like you have a blockage in your brain. It's like you have a blockage in your fucking brain.
With the idea that
you're not comprehending. You talking about what your mother did to put food on the table. Your mother didn't have a dick between her legs. Your mother didn't have dick and tits between. You know what I'm saying? Your mother doesn't face the same adversities and the same problems that we have.
She's a black.
Your mother doesn't have our problems.
You
comparing us to a cis woman.
At the end of the day, she's a black woman in America. She's a black
woman. A black woman, bitch. We're black trainees. We not black women.
You're a black
We're black trainees.
I'm a black trans woman. I'm a black trans woman. You're a black trainee.
You have a dick in between your legs, and you have not. You don't have. You're not living the life of a black woman. I'm sorry, boo. I'm sorry, boo. You might think you're living the life of a black woman. You're not living the life of a black woman.
That ideology that you have is the reason that the girls are on the beat and they're okay with it. I'm not saying don't use the beat. I'm not saying don't use Backpage. Do what you got to do, sis. But at the end of the day, Backpage should be a...
No, at the beginning of the day, bitch. At the beginning of the day. At the beginning of the day, bitches are waking up and they don't know what the fuck they're going to do for a meal.
At the beginning of the day, go to school. At the beginning of the day, get your education. So
go to
school. Can't tell you what you can.
No, what are you talking about?
At the end of the day,
you think
if you have one,
people need to pay their bills and find a meal today. Don't get into school today. You talking about going to school. You talking about going to school. But school is not paying the fucking rent. You're not making any sense.
You have a place to...
School is not paying the rent.
But I am.
So all of that time that the bitch is going to school, where's she supposed to be staying at?
It pays my bills every day.
Where's she supposed to be staying at while she's going to school?
School pays my bills every day. School pays...
Bitch, what are you talking about? So you trying to tell me that there's federal funds and there's state assistance for every girl? For every girl, there's state assistance and federal funds. Do you know the numbers? The numbers. Let's do the mathematics. The numbers do not fit the criteria. There are only a selective few that will receive these funds. Every girl is not going to get what you got. What don't you understand about that? You don't understand that you are blessed and that everybody will not receive the same blessings? I don't fuck with the Jehovah shit, but it's point blank. Let's be serious here. Your blessings are your blessings, correct? So how the fuck do you expect everybody else to get what you received? That makes no sense.
At the end of the day, Lucy.
At the beginning of the day, bitch. At the beginning of the day.
At the end of the day, everybody got the same.
At the beginning of the day.
In the same 24 hours.
No, it's not the same opportunity.
And my thing is, the only things that make you not eligible is yourself. The only person that can tell you that you can't do something is yourself. The only person that can count you
So you're telling me that bitches with mental health issues, bitches with mental health issues,
is that they pull younger girls into this. A lot of you older girls pull younger girls into it and make them feel like they can't. A lot of younger girls can do shit, but when they hop out and they say, "Hey, I'm trans," they get a girl like you that says, "Okay, let me show you how to do this ad real quick." Instead of saying, "Sis, while you still got time, let me show you how to do this school fast for real quick. Let me show you how." No,
bitch. Excuse me. For one thing, don't get it twisted. Don't get it twisted. I will show the bitch all of the options. I'm not going to just tell her to go work the fucking stroll. I'm going to tell her that she can get jobs. I'm going to show her the federal grants. I'm going to show her the programs that they can get involved in. I'm not sitting here trying to pimp bitches out so that they can't do nothing else. There's all types of avenues available, but it's all about what's going to be working at the moment. You acting like it doesn't work like that.
So why
it doesn't. What you're talking about is a fantasy.
For telling the girls that they can do better. That's what I want to know. So your question for
everybody
me
cannot do better. What you're saying makes no sense.
Because your question for me, your main question for me was, why am I happy for Backpage being shut down? You may not agree with
Does the shelter have rooms for everybody?
So let me ask you a question. Why is it so bad that I'm encouraging the girls to do something better? As if I'm telling them.
Okay, wait. Oh, let's see like this. Let's go like this. Okay, we got a girl that's homeless on the streets right now. Let's just make a situational thing. There's a girl that's homeless on the streets right now. She fucked up. Her transition ain't all that good. And okay, so let's take it from there. What is she supposed to do?
So, all of you bitches that's out there with her, all y'all old girls that's out there with her, where you stay at? Where you stay at?
What?
What can you do?
No. We're not talking about the old bitches. We're not talking about the old bitches. We're not talking about the old.
And if hoe is life, and we looking out for each other, and education and all that shit can't do nothing for you, she's out there, and I don't know that situation. You know why? Because I'm in here. So the girls
You're assuming
before
so you really think that you think that everybody has
no.
You think everybody has the option of having a transgender mother?
When you
think everybody has the option of having a mother?
And you put yourself in situations where those things can happen, then guess what, sis? You gotta fend for yourself. And when you can't fend for yourself, your sisters are supposed to be there to help you. But you know why your sisters can't help you? Because they sucking dick to stay in a hotel.
Do you know what are you talking about, yo? There are women in communities where they have no sisters. There are women in communities that have no sisters. When I transitioned, I didn't have any sisters. What are you talking about?
Don't blame the country. Blame yourself. Don't blame the country, blame yourself. I don't even blame certain. I know motherfuckers whose parents were on crack, cracked out, left them in behind the fucking dumpster, and they became bitches that graduated from Harvard. If nobody has an excuse, stop making excuses.
You are totally disrespectful, and your lack of empathy and compassion for your sisters is disgusting. Your lack of compassion and empathy for your sisters is utterly disgusting. It's disgusting. The shit you saying is disgusting.
When you join or when you open yourself up to a lifestyle, because that part of it is a lifestyle that is risky, that is not stable, that is something out of this motherfucking world, and it's ups and downs whenever the fuck you turn around, you open yourself up to the fact that any day you could be fucked up. And
do you know anything about? Do you have any comprehension of mental? Do you have any comprehension of mental health? Do you have any comprehension of mental health? So what do you know about mental health, honey?
Girl, this is not about that. And what you're not going to do is try to school.
What you mean it's not about that? So you talking about gender dysphoria and the shit that we go through? You're telling me there's no mental health issue that's involved in being transgender and being transsexual?
What's funny is that what's so funny to me is that y'all, when you realize that you can't compete with me intellectually, y'all want to talk about everything other than the topic. The topic is you're upset because of my opinion about the beat and about transgender women working the beat and about me being
no.
It's shut down. It's shut down. So now
you talking about what are you talking about? I'm switching intellectual. If you're intellectual, then you understand that these other issues come into play. It is not like you painting a black and you paint a situation like it's black and white when it is not black and white.
When you choose to do something that puts you at risk, I have a problem with that because at the end of the day, the girls don't have to.
You're telling me that people are choosing to be suicidal. No. Our sisters are choosing to be suicidal. That's what you're telling me?
My thing is, what leads to that suicide? What leads to those thoughts? What are the things that leads up to the suicide?
Bitch, are you a transgender woman? Are you transsexual?
What are the things?
Do you know what it means to have gender dysphoria and want to kill yourself because you can't express and be who you want to be and be who you are?
I'm not a hoe. So I need to know from the hoe's perspective.
No, excuse me. Do you know what it means? Do you know what it means to be suicidal because you can't transition?
Yes.
Well, then what the fuck don't you understand? This is crazy.
But there are
other crazy. You just said basically based upon your decision, based upon what you said, you're saying it's a choice. You're saying being suicidal is a choice.
That you have other ways. That's the problem. The problem isn't the fact that you don't have the ways and that's the last option. The problem is that a lot of girls take that easy way out too soon. A lot of the girls have the easy way out too soon.
What do you think is easy about prostitution? You think prostitution is easy? You think it's easy to take 20 dicks up your fucking ass and face? You think it's easy to take 50 dicks up your ass and face? You think that's fucking easy?
It is. That's the easy way out. Instead of
so why ain't you doing it then? If it's so easy, what the fuck is so easy? You don't make no goddamn sense. It's just, you think you're smart. That's the funny part. You think you're smart.
Anywhere else mentally. But it takes heart to every day consciously have to go into a workplace and have motherfuckers tell you.
Bitch, it takes heart to do prostitution. It takes strength to do prostitution. It takes a strong woman to be able to do prostitution. Everybody cannot do prostitution. That shit is not the easy route.
Y'all find an excuse. Y'all find ways to do
it is not an excuse, boo. It is not an excuse,
where
boo.
girls are living. You complain about the resources, but when it comes time to get them surgeries, y'all will fly to Atlanta, LA, Miami on the whim. When it comes time to get them surgeries,
how the fuck you think they get money to fly to LA, bitch? How the fuck you think they're not getting money? They're not getting money to do this from the government. They're not getting money to do this with a little $5 an hour job. They're not getting make with a federal $2 an hour waitressing and shit.
Y'all get those resources when you trying to get something to make everybody else look good. It's not about survival for some of y'all. It's not about survival for some of y'all. For some of y'all, it's about trying to please these bitches that don't give a fuck about whether you passable, clocky, all that bullshit or not, because they already got their red bottom.
Okay, fine. It's not about that for some of them. But what about the sisters that it is about? What about the sisters that you're disrespecting? What about the sisters that you're disrespecting that it is about survival?
By telling you, girl, you can do something better, and here are the resources that I have to help.
What about the girls that can't do something better?
Come on.
Are you able to comprehend that?
Everybody has the potential to do something better, and I'm not going to tell no girl.
No, everybody doesn't have the potential, and everybody doesn't have the ability to do something better. Have you been down south? Have you lived in Alabama?
Be great.
Have you lived in Louisiana? Have you lived in these places? Where the fuck do you live at, bitch? What do you don't know what the fuck you're talking about?
Everybody has the potential to be great. Everybody. And for you to sit back and tell some of these girls that they don't have the potential to be great, that's disrespectful.
No. I'm not saying people don't have the potential to be great. I didn't say people don't have the potential to be great. I didn't say people don't have the potential to be great. You're not going to sit here and act like, what you're not going to do is sit here and act like everybody has the ability to have federal grants. You're not going to act like everybody has the ability to get a job. You're not going to act like everybody has these jobs out here hiring people. People are out here fucked up, yo. People are out here fucked up. There is not a job in America for everybody. America does not have a job for everybody. America does not have a job for everybody.
Everybody wants the easy way out. Everybody wants to do something that gets them money right
Nah, boo. How many positions is there at Walmart? You tell me that. How many positions is there at Walmart? How many positions is there at Walmart? If a job is hiring, a job hires 5 people, and 10 trainees need jobs. What about them 10 trainees? What about the other 5 trainees that's not going to be able to fit the 5 jobs? And what about the other 5 trainees that's not going to get hired because the 6 motherfuckers is getting the job? What the fuck are you talking about? You're not making sense. They're not making fucking sense, bitch.
There are 1,000 interviewings that are happening right now that are specific to LGBT people, that are happening in LGBT spaces, but nobody.
Where, bitch? Where? This is not all over, bitch. This is not all over. There are red states, there are blue states. This is not everywhere. This is not everywhere. And even in those things, there are criteria that these women are not fitting. There are mental health issues that people have that they won't fit these criteria. Like, what are you talking about? You don't have understanding of your own people. You don't know your own people. And it goes beyond transsexuals. You don't even know your own black people. You don't know people, bitch. You're talking stupid. You don't know. You don't know people. You're living in a fantasy dream world. You think you're a Republican. You think you're some other shit that you're not.
That's the thing, though.
I don't have to fucking calm down. I don't have to fucking calm down. My bitches is out here getting murdered, and this bitch says she happy about it. The fuck you talking about? This bitch is out here getting murdered on the street. This bitch is already commit suicide for this life, and you happy about it? The fuck you talking about? How the fuck is you happy that our girls is dying?
That's the thing, though. Like, what are you doing for them, though?
What are you doing?
So, thank you for asking that question, honey bun. So, I work for an organization called transgendersocial.org, which is funded and created by Miss Angelica Ross, who will be in the first full cast, okay, of trans people that'll come out on FX this summer, but we're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about Trans Social and how we have 365 members, 265 of them of which happen to be people that are willing to employ and or have skills to equip other trans people or gender non-binary people, you know, with those skills so that they can go out and
where are you located at?
Okay, wait,
and where are you located at?
You asked me what I was doing, so let me finish telling you. Let me run down.
I'm asking you where you're located also.
Thank you. Let me run down the list of receipts. So, after I finished working with Trans Social, I also have the Allow Me movement. Now, the Allow Me movement later this year, thank God for the grants that I received, will be starting after school programs in major cities where I'll be traveling. Okay, well, I'll be traveling to different schools to specifically with people who are LGBT and T and have issues in schools, because as you well know, because I'm sure you do know, since we like to talk about numbers.
Thank you, Naomi. Thank you, Naomi.
Possibly passed in 10 different states and cities, and there are going to be 2 of them that are possibly looked at.
Bitch, you are utterly delusional. You're delusional.
Right? So,
you are a delusional fucking transgender.
Go through and go to those schools and tell people exactly how, okay, exactly how they're going to be able to stop some of these bills from going through by simply showing them that LGBT students need and will continue to need the resources that are being given to them, not only by my organization, but by the organizations that I am attached to that are really out here doing the work and helping. Not only that, but I'm also attached to HRC, the Human Rights Campaign. They're very problematic.
What's the numbers? Okay, what's the numbers, yo? What's the numbers? Okay, you got some funding to help people. How much funding you got? And how many people you helping?
So I'm telling you.
What's the numbers?
I want to hear after I'm done what you're doing. I want to hear after I'm done what you're doing. Let me finish. So, I'm working with HRC and they have an HBCU initiative. So what's going to happen is in November, like they do every November, we have about 15 to 25 students that we fly out from HBCU.
15 to 25 students. You think there's only 15 to 25 transgender women in America? You think there's only 15 to 25 transgender women in America?
You asked me for my credentials and I'm running them down for you.
Your credentials, the credentials speak to 15 to 25 transgender women.
You asked me what I was doing and I'm telling you.
Your credentials speak to 15 to 25 transgender women and you think you're saving?
You asked for them, darling. You asked for them. And so here we are. This is where we are. You see, a lot of you guys want to sit back and talk about how I'm not doing nothing, but where are you? Where are you? Where were you when I was
excuse me. No. I'm not talking about you're not doing nothing. What I'm talking about is the numbers. Let's deal with mathematics, boo. Let's deal with mathematics, boo. You said you're helping 15 to 25 people, correct? You said you're helping 15 to 25 people, correct? How many fucking transgender and transsexual people do you think is in America alone?
To beat the system, you have to join
the system. Do you think 15 to 25 people is...
You cannot talk shit from the outside of the club when you can't even get in. You can't talk shit. You can't get in. You have to be able to get in. You have to be able to get in, sis.
Did you vote for Trump?
You have to be able to get in. You have to vote for Trump? People while there's a need for certain things.
Did you vote for Trump?
People while there's a need, which is the reason why a lot of the black community does not get what we need to have, is because
the black community
tend to give up too soon. When you have all these ignorant ass white folks getting bullshit that we should have got for years. You have all these white folks getting all of our money, things that we need in our communities that we're not getting. And you know why? It's because we are.
Because white people need help too. I mean, you acting like white people don't need it. There are poor white people in America too. Yeah.
What we don't have.
There are poor white people in America too, y'all. There are poor white people in America too. See, can we talk about numbers? Do you know anything about numbers? Because the federal programs deal with numbers. All right, so these numbers go across boards. These numbers go to black, white, Puerto Rican, whatever nationality you are, okay? So let's not talk about the white people that are taking money from the black people, because white people need help too, all right? So see that you're talking about you're helping about 15 to 25 people. Within those 15 to 25 people, how many white, black, and Puerto Ricans have you helped?
First of all, the initiative, if you were listening, is called the HBCU initiative. So all of them are black or Puerto Rican, not white. Because the initiative is to help those of minority experience. And for those of you who are saying there are white people who are broke,
okay, so you're excluding when the white, so okay, for the white, okay, for our white sisters that's out there fucked up on drugs and going through shit and that need their rent paid right now, you're not helping them. That's what you're saying.
For them, though.
For our Afro-Latina sisters that's out there fucked up and need rent and need to do what they need to do, you're not helping them. That's what you're saying to me, right?
All the girls that have died this year, how many of them were white? I want to know for the amount of girls that died last year, how many of them are white? What are the numbers for those girls? They have a lot of the white girls in my community love them to death, but when you look up motherfucking scholarships and grant money and all that shit, it's 1,000.
So you're telling me that white transgender women are not affected. You're telling me white transgender women are not being victims of murders.
Now you're really veering off.
I'm not veering off. I'm dealing with the whole community. I'm dealing with the whole community, boo. I'm dealing with the whole community, boo. Our community is not just black. Our community is a whole mix of people, boo. Our community is a mix of people, boo. And your numbers do not fit the mix of people, boo. Your numbers fall short, boo. Your numbers fall short of helping our sisters, boo.
But they do. Help a few to save a lot. That's the whole point. You give to people so that those people in turn
Kwame, suck a dick.
You give to people so that those people in turn take those things back. We don't take people from one area and say, hey, y'all go back to your community. We take
Do you even realize that most of these niggas on your live that's sitting here supporting you is the same niggas that's out here trying to get free pussy and fuck our sisters and kill us? These same niggas that's sitting here clapping their hands. These same niggas that's on your live clapping their hands for you and applauding you is the same niggas that's abusing our sisters and that don't give a fuck about us. The same niggas that's on your live, acting like you doing something good for us. It's the same niggas that's trying to trick with us for $5 and kill us and murder us and act like we lied to them about our sex.
That's the problem.
Who the fuck do you think you're pleasing? Who the fuck is your crowd? Who is your audience? Because your audience is not us, boo. The audience is not us, boo. You're not loving your sisters, boo. Sitting on your own people.
I see you and I definitely wanted to talk to you too, so I'm gonna reach out. But anyway, at the end of the day, Lucinda, like, so for you to sit here and say, okay, all of these niggas that's on your live, or half of these niggas that are on your live are the same niggas that's on here fucking trying to get free pussy and killing us.
The niggas on your live is trade, boo.
You're promoting.
Don't you understand that? The niggas on your live is called trade. Do you know what trade is?
You're promoting. It's okay to. So I'm gonna add Lucinda back. Her feed gave out, and I'm not sure if it was whatever. So I'm gonna add Lucinda back. Let me see. I'm gonna add Lucinda back because her feed got real. I'm not sure if it was I'm not sure if it was let me see. Lucinda, if you're still here, because this was your conversation, if London sends me a request, I'll add London, but I'm not sure if London can send me a request. That's the thing. I'm not sure if London can send me a request. Brandon, shut up. But if London can send me a request, I would gladly talk to London. But I don't even see London on the feed anymore. I don't even see London on the feed no more. But yeah, so basically my whole thing with this is I don't have time for excuses when it's 1,000 ways to skin a cat. is 1,000 ways to tell girls how to be. It's 1,000 ways to tell girls how to do. There's 1,000 ways to equip girls with the tools that they need to be successful. There's 1,000 ways to do it. Everybody does not have to climb the train or get to the top of the skyscraper the same way. But at the end of the day, to sit back and promote the idea of sex work as the will and the way is ridiculous. The way the fact that people are legitimately saying, as soon as you get out of the gate, as soon as you step out, into the world and you become trans, this is what, I think it's because we're not friends, London. I'm sorry. But let me see. But yeah, I legitimately feel like, there we go. London is about to come on. But I legitimately just feel like there are so many more ways to skin the cat than to tell girls, oh, go be an escort. You know what I'm saying? There are so many more ways to skin the cat than to tell girls that, you got to be an escort or you got to do this, that, and the third to make it, because you don't. You do not. You do not. And it doesn't matter what's been going on for years. Slavery was going on for years. So if that's your ideology, it's been going on, let it continue to go on. So, okay, well, then we might as well just go ahead and be slaves again. Since that's the case. Since that's the case, we might as well go ahead and be slaves again since it's been going on and it's been a thing. Come on. Come on. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we gotta do, I feel like we have to do better, and we have to encourage girls and know. We have to let them know that there is more than one way to success in this business. And if you are going to use that as your means of success, then by all means, sis, do it, get out of it, and then pull somebody else up. Oh, hey, London.
Hey, so, okay, let me just say this to you, Hope. I understand your sentiment. I completely understand, as a girl just like yourself who has been subjected to some of the same discrimination and some of the same lack of opportunities. Also within it, I found opportunity and able to move myself out of a space and move myself out of spaces that continue that cycle of discrimination and holding the girls back. But what we often forget in this situation, Hope, is that word, we say they, and we don't say us. And we forget to pull our sisters up, and when we forget to use the word us and include ourselves. And so though I may be degreed and though I may not advocate, I don't endorse us. I don't endorse sex work. Okay. I don't endorse it. However, I advocate for women that is their choice, because they themselves have taken advantage of capitalism, right? They found that they had the supply, it was their body, human capital. They were able to make money off of their own bodies, right? Whereas though our bodies are always so policed. And, trans women who for so long hated our bodies because, we had, our parts were incongruent, okay? And even myself, I'm not ashamed to say it, I took photographs, and I don't talk about this, but I took photographs that I was not happy that I did, but I did it so I could get my books for class. So I'm not regretful of it, because those same photos, which is a form of sex work by me taking those pictures and allowing people to look at those pictures of me and touch themselves, paid for me to get my books to complete class. So I'm not ashamed of that. And it also taught me, Hope, when I looked at those photos of myself, that just like Playboy is there, and our president's wife is in Playboy, right? So you have Playboy. This is like Playboy for trans women. It's holding up our bodies and saying that our bodies are beautiful. The other big thing for me, Hope, is that like you live in the South, right? You lived in Texas still.
I lived in Texas for a while.
Okay, yeah. So you know how like in Texas and in Georgia, they're not a part of the exchange, right? Right. And so by not being a part of the exchange, a lot of girls don't have opportunity to get like sex changes or to get their breasts done because of the fact that they're not a part of the exchange. And so they don't have the access to healthcare, hormones, they don't have access to that. And so it's very expensive. A bottle of hormones is $200. So that's $200, $250, right, per month, right? Each bottle that you take is $250. So every time that and then you have girls who take pills, which are even more expensive, right? So you don't have a doctor who's looking out for you. When I lived in Georgia and when I went to Morehouse, I used to go to Dr. Thacker in Atlanta, and I had to pay out of pocket. And thank God that I had, you know, parents who were supportive, where a lot of girls don't have that, right? So I had parents who were supportive and were able to, and were financial and able to help me. You know, even when I got my breast done, I was able to look towards my family to help me out, you know, other than me supplementing what I needed to do. But my parents were able to help me where I lacked. Some girls don't have that. And so I just I understand your point. And I think that I think that people are maybe confusing your sentiment because it seems so conservative. I see that what you're trying to do is in your way uplift the girls by saying that there are opportunities, but we will go remiss without mentioning that a lot of those same institutions exist that create those barriers. Because I know you're part of Trans Tech Social, created by our good friend Angelica Ross. I actually posted your employment guide, and I went on your employment page for the HBCU coordinator for human rights human rights campaign, HRC, and I just actually reached out to them as a potential for employment. So thank you for having that available to people. But if you guys don't know, transtechsocial.org is there, but a lot of that requires you to have a skill, right? Hope. And so a lot of girls don't have the skills in place and the job skills to be able to get, you know, to the next step. So instead of us, I think, Hope, I don't want to say knocking the girls, but instead of us doing it, well, what we should do is, I created the scholarship for trans women of color, work together, you know, get together, work together, and make it so that girls can get jobs, and show them, you know, if you want to go to school, here's FAFSA.org, FAFSA.gov, show them how they can get in school. We can work together, help them with their resumes. You know, a lot of girls don't have resumes. And I said the other day, Hope, I said, listen, you girls, just because you worked on an ad does not mean you're not employable. You have employable skills.
Exactly.
You're into marketing, you're into communications, you're into finance, you're into knowing how to schedule, and think about it. A lot of girls, and let me please keep some real shit with you. A lot of girls are so afraid how they think that they can't get a job because their resume isn't reflective of who they really are. Let me tell you something, bitch. When y'all were using those fake pictures on those ads, those fake pictures that were not your pictures, use that same fake ass resume to get in the door. The same way the client came to the door and was living for what he saw when he got there. Let those employers live for what they see when you get to that door, to your job site, and let that be what it is. But let's help them to make those resumes. I'm here for it. And I mean, it's so much more. I'm going to let you go ahead and say.
So my whole thing is with the Trans Tech Social, since my involvement, what's happened is Angelica has put me on to the outreach portion. So not only am I over the job, like making sure everybody gets what they need from Trans Tech Social, but I'm also now sifting through our members who have said, I want to help. I want to do this, that, and the third, so that we can get girls those skills. There are a lot of people that are from Trans Tech Social now that are like, oh, we can do certifications if they live over here. And there's also things where they will bus you here, there, and the third. And we're opening up so that it's not just about tech anymore. Because when we first started, it was just about tech and IT and making sure that the girls had like computer skills and things like that. But now I have the liberty so that we have a little bit more wiggle room kind of deal.
And y'all, and another thing y'all do is, and there's another group, and I just want to say this for everybody that's watching. There's what is the coding program? So, because I learned, I first met Angelica when we went to the White House. We all went to the White House when they selected, MBJC selected their, you know, up and coming leaders, and I went to HBCU, so it was HBCU involved. But they have and you guys, if everyone's listening to this, there is an initiative that if you want to learn coding, they pay you, they teach you the code, and then they get you a job. Yes, because a lot of places, that's the thing, a lot of places, Hope, will kind of give you the skill, but they don't link you in to a job. Like there's that link gets disconnected. So do you know the name of that program? It's Coding for Progress.
Coding for Progress, but then they also, they just opened up another one, and they're actually going to start soon because we're putting one of our girls through it now. Okay. And I think it's the Gary Coding Project. And so it's the same thing as the coding, the initial coding one, which is where now they teach you HTML, they teach you code, they teach you how to build websites, and then they put you on a project. So your first project will come out of the Upwork website. If you're not familiar with Upwork, it's a freelance website where people hire you based on what you put on there. So basically you put your resume out there and you tell people what your skills are, and then you're able to create your pay per hour contracts,
right,
whatever you want to do. And this program puts you on your first one, and then after that, you are able to do whatever you need to do.
I'm just reading one of these comments that is so hilarious, Hope, that someone put, but a real female's mind. And you guys, this is why we have the problems that we have. She states, but a real female's mind is equipped enough to work computers. That's why most females work with computers. Why would they hire a trans? See, and this is what's problematic. And this is the sentiment and the mentality of the people who aren't hiring trans people, and why girls are stuck in that cycle of backpage. And I agree with something you said the other day, which is very, very important. Girls peddle, a lot of older girls peddle younger girls into sex work, okay? And so we would go remiss again without saying that it's not necessarily their fault, because when that's the only way, when you know, they say when you know better, you do better, but when you don't know any better, you can't do any better. And a lot of girls, they don't know. They think that the only way they're going to get bodied, they want to be bodied, the only way you're going to get that is by getting on Backpage. But no, bitch, get your credit together. My credit score, and I posted on my page, my credit is a 766, okay? A1 credit. If I want to go get my body done tomorrow, whatever, I can go apply for a care credit. I always explain to the girls that getting your credit, understanding financial literacy is a big part of this. You know what I'm saying? It's a huge part. So we got to have programs that teach financial literacy, and that's what I want to do with my foundation and what I've been trying to do. And I would love your help. To work with you and work with Trans Tech Social to work together to get this, implemented, financial literacy program, because girls got to understand, once you do get a job, you got to know how to save your money, because a lot of girls for all these years, Hope, they've been on Backpage, right? And
savings inside.
And girls didn't save, but they didn't know how to, because, with fast money, you become conditioned. And I think right now, this is a time for us to help recalibrate people's minds and help them to refocus on what's really, really important.
And you know what I will admit and what I will apologize for is that was the wording that I probably should have used. Because my thing is, this is the time, now that Backpage is down, now that everybody's wigs are snatched, this is the time to reconfigure this stuff. Now it's time for us to put those skills to use. If you don't have the skills, now it's time for us to gain those skills. Now it's time for us to really, really, really see how strong this community is. We are so strong. We're so talented. We're so gifted in all these ways. We're right. We're resilient. We're a resilient group of beautiful ass women, and yet we allow every other subsection and every other culture and every other community to surpass us in the things that we put out there.
Well, it might not be that we allow them to surpass us, but we do have to. We would have to always keep in mind those barriers that exist. So, a couple of weeks ago, when I was speaking to the staff at Congressional Black Caucus, I mentioned that we were talking about HIV. And AIDS, and we're talking about Medicare and Medicaid, right? And one of the problems with Kentucky and Tennessee and some of the other southern states was that they were trying to take away Medicare, Medicaid, and they were doing it based off of employment. And that could be very problematic, because a lot of people that really do need the care, especially those that need mental health, are unable to receive it because they are unhireable. So how can they be affected by these new implementations of policies that if you don't have a job, then I'm not going to allow you to get Medicare and Medicaid. And so then we're forcing people who are mentally incompetent or mentally incompetent and mentally ill. There is a distinction. Somebody mentally incompetent, somebody mentally ill are two different things. And so there is, with these different laws and policies that are coming into place, a lot of that is affecting how people are getting comprehensive healthcare. And we forget about keeping, when we bring up HIV and AIDS and we bring that kind of into this cycle too, and start to talk about that. A lot of girls prioritize their transition more than a lot of the other things.
Exactly.
And so, but the thing about that is that for a lot of them, sis, that is a lot of trans women, and even myself, your transition, and people say love yourself, right? So somebody will tell you, oh, love yourself. Girl, I know you always get told love yourself, but it's hard to love yourself when the person you see in the mirror doesn't reflect that what you feel inside. And so you therefore prioritize your transition and what that looks like to you. And so a lot of girls kind of just, you get lost in the sauce. You know what I mean?
Right.
You get lost in the sauce. I just want us, you know, to work together, and all of us in this community in this time to show, just like Ashley Lord's, her words were, every time a trans woman takes a breath, it's revolutionary. Yeah. So this is a time for us to show how revolutionary and resilient that we are. And instead of us like doing infighting, which people will want us to do, we don't have to have infighting, because I don't like to see the comments written about you. I don't like to see, you know, people coming for Lucinda. At the end of the day, we're all sisters. Like, we all sisters. We share experiences that nobody else can say what it feels like to be us. Nobody, no, not a butch queen, not a cisgender woman, not whatever name you want to call. They don't know what it feels like to be us, but we know what it feels like to be us. You know what I'm saying? So I want this to be the chance, sister, to just uplift each other. You know what I'm saying? Just no more kind of isolating ourselves, because what happens is when we say that word like them and not make it a us, we kind of don't include ourselves. And it's just like they say LGBT, and the T is an afterthought, but the T isn't an afterthought for us. We ain't nobody's background. You know, we're always the background to somebody's foreground, but we are the foreground. You know what I mean? We are our foreground, and we gotta stick together, period.
I agree. I completely agree with all of those sentiments, and I think that was the part that was missing. And I think that it was important for me at the beginning to have that separation, because I think what I wanted to do, and what I think a lot of people were missing in my message, was that I wanted to say, you don't have to do that, because I didn't have to do that. And these are the things that I did to continue to make sure that I don't have to do that. And it's gonna get hard, and it's not easy. And yeah, there are plenty of days where I was like, "Ooh, bitch, I could, I should, I probably should get no." And then there are those things. But like you said, we have networks of people. We got those family members that uplift and uphold, and the girls don't have that. And so when my whole goal is to come out here and be that girl, you can hop in my inbox, you can hop on one of my lives and get your life and get inspired to do something different. But when you have 1,000 girls, and it's no shade to nobody, but we have 1,000 Cherry Balenciagas, we have 1,000, you know, cookie tookies out there that are going viral and that are getting all of our girls wrapped up in this one lifestyle. But we don't have a lot of the like when Angelica, you know, when Angelica does her powerful things, like Cookie is funny, Cherry is funny, I get my life. T.S. Madison is funny, I get my life. I love Shauna Brooks to death, I get my life. But where are the girls who are actually out here making the change? Like, why do those girls have to fight through the musk, you know, to be seen, so that we can get the girls the resources?
But that goes the same with being black, though. That's the same, sis, with being black. You know, it's always been that entertainment factor with blacks, whereas though the intellectuals are always kind of thrown to the back. Even when it comes to black culture, you know, they're often forgotten. When I was on the show Love Thy Sister, which was a positive show about black women, I was one of the first trans people on a reality show on every episode. You know, after Laverne, you know, was on TV being a black trans woman, I was on Love Thy Sister. Did I get any, like, you know, there was nothing coming out of that, because we were on there being positive, we were having a real conversation. That wasn't going to work. You know, people wanted to see us fighting. You know, we had to have one scene where I ended up throwing water on my friend and acting like an asshole, and that was for ratings. You know, we would never act like that. We're both graduates of, you know, we both she went to Spelman.
I'm hoping that London didn't get cut off. I'm gonna give it a minute. Okay, I think. So what I do want to say is that I completely receive all of that. I completely receive the idea that some of the things that I was saying came off a certain way, but my thing is my message, right? My message is always the same. I love the girls. I love my sisters. I love everybody, and I want to see everybody win. Let me see if I can request London again. No. Shit. Okay. These long ass nails. Add. I love my sisters, and I just want to see everybody.
Okay.
And there's a way for everybody to do that.
Okay. I'm back. Somebody was calling me.
Yeah.
Girl, she threw me all the way off of it because I was about to tell you something about something else that you posted about spaces. I was going to go because you did a post last week talking about spaces. I mean, a couple weeks ago, talking about people respecting spaces. And
so, yeah, I remember.
And a lot of people were really, really upset about respecting spaces. And so I understand where you were coming from with that too, because for me sitting on the Spelman Transgender Implementation Committee, trans man who went to Spelman, who is a friend of mine, Zarandrian, he and I, when we were, initially on Rolling Martin, it was kind of like everybody was this dissent because he was like, I believe in respecting spaces, letting people be in their space, and I think that this is often confused with a space where it's only for trans, and people forget there are cisgender women in this space of Backpage, right? So you have trans cis women who have families, they have like their kids at home, who again are also unemployable, who have backgrounds. We forget that a lot of girls have backgrounds, right? So they can't get jobs because there's this cycle that goes on that we need to change legislatively and policy-wise that would allow people who have backgrounds to get, infused back into the system and being able to be, productive parts,
So there is. So my thing is, my mom, when I was growing up, my mom made some poor choices trying to make sure we could eat. And my mom was able to get her record expunged, and she was able to get back into the system. The problem is a lot of people don't want to go through it because it's not an instant wham bam. That was like a 5-year fight. And I don't think my mom was able to get back into the workforce until I graduated high school. And so, that started 8th grade through high school that my mom had to wait. But the problem is, what I've realized about a lot of the girls is that they want popcorn results. Well, and in the midst of those popcorn results, you can't say, I want to do better. I feel like you can't say, I'm willing to do anything, but. You know what I'm saying?
I get what you're saying though, but since there are also like policies in place. So okay, in Georgia, right? So in Georgia, the law is that after 2013, according to state statute, they've revisited expungement, right? So expunging was what they called before, which can be a misleading word because the word expungement would make people think that meant that your record was gone away, not that it meant that it was just gone away from being on visible public view. But judicially it could be seen. And that also when you fill out an application, you are subject to be fired if you don't place that you are a felon or that you have a criminal record. So a lot of people do go ahead and fill out an application and may select no, they don't have a record, or may select yes, they have a record, and then they fall into that because Georgia, just like a lot of southern states, are that privilege to work state. And so privilege to work states have the right to fire you for any reason, whether you could have came to work. And this is why I was saying this is an everybody issue because people are laughing at those girls that are knocked off a Backpage, but anybody could get fired. You can go to work tomorrow and have your breasts kind of showing like mine, and they tell you
and get fired.
You're fired. So this is serious because a lot of girls are maybe stuck out of state. They don't have identification because a lot of girls, don't have access to some of the opportunities to change their identifying documents because of geography. Like girls in Louisiana you can't change your sex on like my birth certificate, everything says female, my passport. But girls in like New Orleans, they can only get a line through their name and their sex, meaning they write over top of it. So it's different policies, different laws. So that again is another barrier, and things like that are just many barriers that are in place that we have to address. And maybe instead of taking that to take my anger or upsetness out on the girls, but I want to take it out on the system that pushes a lot of girls into, and one thing I do agree with, Hope, there is the word choice and force. A lot of times people have a choice opposed to doing things by force. You know, like, so I'm a girl who has choices, right? So I have a choice. I could choose to do this, or I could choose to do that, right? I'm not necessarily bound by force to do certain things. So a lot of things that I've done, I accept the choices and the ramifications that come about from it. So, you know, I just accept that it is what it is. And a lot of girls that are in that place should go ahead and just suck it up and say, you know, I had a choice.
Right.
But
and I didn't.
A lot of girls don't, unfortunately, have a choice. And I don't want to make it seem like I'm endorsing, and I don't want to make it seem like I'm like making it like it's not possible, because I believe anybody can do anything. We are humans. We are greater than a computer. We created computers. We created this vast world that we're in that is just evolved. We created this. Our ancestors created this. You know, our nation is built off the money of our ancestors. You know what I mean? Like, this is the richest nation, but another problem is, shit, we supposed to be getting that money back in half of our pockets anyway. That's a whole separate subject to talk about reparation. But at the end of, that's a whole separate topic. But a lot of that wealth that, you know, that's in this country, you know, we are owed that, and we don't have access to it, you know, for a lot of systematic, you know, due to systematic reasons and, you know, that are in place. So
I think that what's happening too now is that there is a shift in resources. And so what my goal is now, especially with my own initiative, working with Angelica, and she's like agreed to kind of help me with that separate from Trans Tech, is to put people in the places where nobody wants to be. Nobody wants to be in Kentucky, but there's a bill in Kentucky right now that are affecting our trans girls and trans youth. Nobody wants to be in Mississippi. Nobody wants to be in all of these shake states that are getting beat down with laws.
Right.
And the problem why we don't hear about it until it's over is because the girls that are there don't have the resources to reach out. But then my thing is, I also feel like we have to be able to empower those girls to know that they have the power to reach out. Right. A lot of girls feel, oh, well, I'm not going to do it because nobody gives a fuck about me. I'm in Kentucky. I'm not one of those it girls that live in Miami or LA or Atlanta. And so we have that ideology being passed down, or undermined. You have a lot of those girls from those country places being undermined. And it's like, well, girl, just move.
And then you also have the elitists. You also have the elitists within our community. You know, we do have an elitist. There is elitism that goes on within the trans community. You know, there are the it girls. There are the girls who are the smart girls. There are the girls who are the pretty girls. There are the girls who are the real girls. So it's like we have that we are a microcosm. So we have all that within this community, and that needs to be addressed as well. Like, one of the things that I just seen my girl Genovia just signed on. So shout out to Genovia. But I actually got a grant, a fellowship from an organization that Genovia is involved with, which is called Keeping Ballroom Communities Alive Network. And part of those funds is going to be used towards me. You know, I use them when I get those funds towards that scholarship fund with Claudette Mason Foundation, and me helping to do my financial literacy project. So there are so many different, and that's through the Institute for Social Change. So there are a lot of organizations that are out here, but like you said, Hope, if you aren't one of the girls, a lot of people don't know about it and don't hear about it. So I love to post up on my page. I think that we have to be vigilant, and we have to get out there and sometimes get that information and keep posting it and sharing it. You know, because it's just like, we got to walk that path, you know, when we are a voice. So I'm just hoping that this conversation that we're having right now can touch somebody, and it maybe your mindset or your sentiment has slightly changed just a little.
Yeah, I mean, and that's my thing, because I don't think my mindset was ever off. I think that it was the way that people were receiving the message, and then part of it was the way that I was delivering the message. Because I don't speak about things, and I tell people that watch my lives all the time, I don't speak about things that I'm not passionate about. I don't talk. I don't get on my live just to be like, hey, y'all, look at my hair. I just beat my face. Let's just kick it. I get on my live and I address the things that I'm truly passionate about. And so when this came up, I was passionate about it because the first time Backpage had a scare, I was like, okay, yes, let's do some stuff. And I got a couple of girls to do something different. I got a couple of girls in my inbox that was like, okay, Cole, let's do this and that. And I actually was happy to see that a couple of girls got employed from, you know, different things. And so when this came back around this time, I was like, yes, I got another opportunity to do it, because I'm not sure if it's for real. I'm not sure how long it's going to last. I don't know what's going to happen. And so every time it happens, I'm going to use it as a resource to pull these girls out. Now, I will say, like I said, I'm going to apologize for anybody who may have felt off-put, less than, because that's not what I'm trying to do. Over here in Hope's world, we're trying to make sure all the girls eat.
We're all giving, no, you're giving the girls hope.
Right, I'm giving the girls hope.
You got to give the girls hope. And it takes that compassion. Like, one, you just mentioned about the bill. So, well, you mentioned Backpage coming down. So we need to talk about that bill real quick. So, okay, so everyone, if they don't understand why Backpage, what the? Everyone keeps doing that. They see I'm on live and keep calling me. So what happened is that it's called the SESTA bill. And so with SESTA, I posted on my page the long-ass legislation. I posted it 3 weeks ago when it was in the House before it made it to the Senate. The thing is that the bill has been signed, but it's not been signed by the president. I mean, it's been passed by both chambers, but it's not been signed by the president. Therefore, it's not law. So what I wanted to explain to people and help them understand is that under Section 230 of the Decency Act, in there is a clause. In that statute, it basically states that you are not able to be civically or criminally prosecuted if you are not the owner of the content. But what Backpage was doing illegally was editing the advertisements of the people that were putting ads on. And so by editing the information, it becomes, you become suspect. That's what the problem was before, why they shut them down, because they had been editing the word. So like, say it would say like, you know, rimming or sucking dick, and they would cut the wording out. Editing it is a way of owning the content. You get what I'm saying? Like, if you edit it, you are an owner of the content, or you are in with the content. This is from me, my legal understanding, how it works. That's how it works, and that's why I feel like he was able to be prosecuted, opposed to, like, you know, sites like Eros are Swiss. That's a Swiss site. And so, but websites like the Erotic Review and a lot of these other sites they're still up, but they're overseas. And Backpage is an international, I mean, is a U.S. site. So a lot of girls, and if girls work on that site out of the country. So, but like the Erotic Review is still viewable if you put your VPN on your phone. Ladies, if you have a VPN server on your phone and you wanted to look at any of these things, you can put your VPN on and just put it like you're in like London or Canada, and you can see that the stuff still exists in other countries. Backpage doesn't, though. But other sites that may have been down, you could see them away. The thing that I find to be kind of confusing is that the bill is not law yet. So I'm just trying to I'm trying to understand why some of the sites, why I guess the Erotic Review, they took theirs down. I think probably because they didn't want to, you know, they didn't want to worry about what would happen, because they come. What would happen? Yeah, and I feel like Eros is going to get censored too, because in that law, in the Decency Act law, even though it's a foreign company and that Backpage was seized, and because I noticed a lot of people put in comments like, what about Eros and girls going on Eros? A lot of girls don't go on Eros, for one, because they don't have identification. Again, you have to have an ID. They don't have IDs. They don't have the money to purchase professional photographs. They don't have the finances to do that. And they don't have, and a lot of girls are trying to be anonymous, and they want to use other people's photographs because they don't want to show themselves, because they want to be girls that have careers and jobs, and they don't want their photos online, but they want to make the money to pay for school or do whatever, and they need to pay for school, because a lot of girls pay for school. My girlfriend is a doctor. Okay, I have girlfriends of mine who are, I know a lot of my girlfriends who are serious people, but they paid for their education through sex work. You know, that's how their education was paid for. They used it for the greater good. You know, so we would go remiss without mentioning that as well, that a lot of girls use it for the greater good because they don't have those opportunities. And so I feel like Eros is going to come down eventually, because they're probably going to put censorship on the actual U.S. site. So like when I was in the Middle East, a lot of, you can't go to, like, you can't FaceTime when you're in the Middle East. Like, you have to put your VPN on your cell phone and FaceTime, because their servers don't allow you to. So I feel like the servers here are going to disconnect from those sites due to that Decency Act. So girls, if you're watching this and you are on one of those other sites, I'm not endorsing, but it is to take warning and take heed as it's given now that those sites will probably be coming down in the very near future. So this is the time to
prepare.
Rally.
Right. Prepare yourself. I'm not saying, like, my thing is, if you're going to do that, it's not for me. You know what I'm saying? It's not for me. But if you're going to do that, then by all means, make sure that when these things happen, that y'all have enough to sustain yourself for 3 to 6 months while you're looking for a job or while you're looking for whatever the case may be. Like, I understand that body dysphoria is real. I understand that the mental health and connecting the mind to the body. Like, I'm just now about to do.
I feel like I've offended Tila. I'm sorry. I don't mean to cut you off. I feel like I just offended Tila, my sister Tila. She said that ain't the greater good. When I say the greater good, sis, I'm not necessarily meaning, again, because, you know, I got to keep the language out. I'm not trying to. I'm not meaning the greater good because you're a lawyer or a doctor that you're greater or that. I'm meaning the greater good, meaning that you may have got inside of it to do something that you perceive as better. So that's your perception. So her perception was that she was doing something better. And so we also would go remiss, again, without mentioning harm reduction and the harm reduction factors that are in place with websites like Backpage, you know. So those sites are down, and how you gonna find these damn pedophiles and these people who are sex trafficking? How you gonna find them? Because they're gonna go deeper underground, and you're gonna have girls out in the street, walking the streets. Like they say, close the laptop and hit the blacktop. When those girls close the blacktop and hit the blacktop, it's gonna bring a lot more danger because girls are gonna be, just recently in Baltimore, like last week, a young lady was just shot here on the stroll. It didn't make the news because she didn't pass away, thank God. She was shot because someone mistook her for someone else, hopped out of a car and shot her on the stroll. Because, you know, just things like that. Girls didn't have access to the computer. They're out on the street open to all kinds of crazy shit. I live in a crazy city, you know. And so they're open to that, whereas being in the protection of their own homes, even though things can happen in your house or in a hotel, but at the end of the day, those things are traceable. You know, it's like, you know, if it's a camera, like in the hotel, they saw you coming in, or like they called your phone, sis, they're like, okay, well, they dialed from number 800, we can catch him. Because that's how they caught that guy who killed the young woman who lied and said he didn't know her tea. You know, it's always exactly didn't know your tea. They caught him because he had been texting her. Right. All those texts. So we harm reduction, you know, is one of those other factors that we lose with taking down those sites.
My goal is to pull girls off of both of those functions. I'm not saying like that you, as grown women, you know, you're entitled to do whatever it is that you want with your body. And I'm not shaming or sex shaming or whatever, because bitch, I love a good thirst trap as much as the next bitch. You know what I'm saying? But I just feel like there's a stigma on trans women that is completely untrue. And there's so much more, like, if we really want to, we would go remiss using your statement, because I like that, I'm going to start using that. Okay. We would go remiss without saying that there's an emotional level to this entire thing too that we don't talk about how the girls want to be in relationships but can't be in relationships because after disclosing that you're trans, if you're a passable girl, after saying, well, I'm trans, the first thing is, well, can you suck my dick, or can I fuck,
girl, or can I fuck? You know, listen, last night I was watching Queen, right? Remember Queen from Alex Haley's Roots?
Yes.
Do you remember when she was, do you remember the part when she was passing? Listen, I was analogizing this to the trans experience. Listen, she was passing, right? So she was about to marry the white man, and he thought she was a white woman, and under like the stress, she was like, I'm Negro. And he started to be, he ripped her clothes off and said, this is what Negro bitches deserve, and started fucking her, right? So it became, you know, once he found out what she really was, forget who he saw in front of him and who he really loved. And she never changed. She was the same person.
Right.
It's just that social construct of race got into play, and she was now black, right? He was so in love with her. Right. And it's the same thing a lot of trans women go through that. So another thing, sis, that a lot of people forget about is there are a lot of girls who go on these sites, a lot of guys and girls who go on sites like TAG, POF, and these other sites, and they do all this casual sex, right? And so it's like, they are putting themselves in just as much of a compromising position as girls who are on Backpage. And so they have no right. And a lot of those girls are being hypocrites and being holier than thou and sanctified. And they are coming for a lot of the girls who are on websites like Backpage. And what I saw a couple of people who I know who are, you know, they might do their shit and might get on those sites and have about 5 or 6 men come run in and screw them and leave out. They are just as much in danger, because I hear more about those people being murdered and killed. There was just a story here in Maryland where a guy from POF, a gay man, was on POF and he was murdered off of the site. I hear a lot more about those stories of internet love. And so we got to say, at least with Backpage, the girls are getting some out of it, because it's like, you know, it's hard to be one of the girls. It is expensive. It costs a lot of money. It just costs facial films and nose jobs and lips. It just costs a lot of money. You know what I mean? It just costs a lot. And so if you got to get a little, I've got this mentality now, and I mean, I'm going to be honest about who I am, because I'm authentic. If you're not doing something for me, like as a man, like I just cannot rock with you. You know what I mean? And like any of my girlfriends who will sign on here that really know me know what I'm talking about. Like, if you come over my house, and even if it is casual sex, you have to like bring me like offer me dinner. You have to, like, because I have to teach you how to treat me, and therefore teach you how to treat the next trans woman. Because you're not gonna come up here and think I'm sucking your dick and you going home. No, it don't work like that. You're gonna treat me like the way you treat these cisgender women. So you're gonna come over here. You're gonna offer me either to go to the movies. You're gonna offer me a drink. I got a bottle of champagne sitting right on my counter that a gentleman just brought over here the other day. And though we watched TV, and though it was not off of no sex work, he needed to bring me something over here. I don't care about if you come in here and you see that my light's on. I'm like, oh my God, my light bill is due. My light bill is this much or whatever. And I've had
agreed.
Listen, sis, I'm in
agreed.
My book is $300 for class. Piece of trade came over the other day. Talking to trade. My best friend is signed online. She can tell you right now. The trade gave me, I made him buy my book. I made him pay for my book. I made him go online while we were right here and pay for my book. And then we had a little fun later on probably. But, you know, he paid for my book. And it was what it was.
But my thing is, there's nothing, like, to me, and some people might not agree with this, but that's woman politics. When me and my mom finally got to that space where we could talk about
work, but it's still a form of like sex
work. Social sex work, right?
Yeah.
So my thing is, me and my mom were talking about it, and she was like, if you're gonna do this, if you're gonna be a woman, she was like, don't you ever lay down for free. At any point in time, a man needs to always come to the table with something. A man, if he want to talk to you, make him pay your phone bill. If he want to spend time in your motherfucking house, make sure the lights stay on because of him. And I don't have a problem with that at all. By all means,
you're not finna lay in my house and play PlayStation. I like nice things. Girl, I like nice furniture. I like nice things. I like lubricants. I like bags. I like nice things. And if I can get them myself. But my thing is, you like to see me in these nice things because you like to gawk and look at me. So you want me to continually to look like this? You need to invest in it. You got to invest in it. Period.
Right.
Like, you know, a lot of men always get mad at women like, oh, you got fat and sloppy. Oh, your ass got big. No, y'all are a team. You're supposed to say, look, sis, look, wife, how about this? Let's go to the gym together. Let's go ahead and eat vegan. Because my ex, you know, even if we're not together, we became vegan together. We went to the gym together. Like, this is what we did because he didn't want to see me slipping because he liked what he saw when he saw it. And he wanted to keep that shit up. So it was given like, okay, look, I'm going to invest my time in this. So let's go eat. Let's go whatever. And, oh, yeah, and by the way, what's your credit score looking like? And, you know, it is what it is. And so that's how it has to be. You know what I mean? Like, it just has to be a united situation with these relationships, even if it's casual, just meeting a guy and it's over. You know what I mean? So it's so many different.
There's so many different levels to this conversation that I feel like a lot of people were trying to leave out. There's the social political stance on it. There's the respectability politics of it. There's the emotional part of it that we don't talk about amongst ourselves in public spaces. Because people think that when they see us, they either see the Amaya Scotts of the world or they see the linebackers with wigs on of the world. And there's no in between. They don't see us as people. They don't really respect us as trans women or women, period. And so I feel like a lot of these spaces and a lot of these conversations need to be held, because there was a bunch of my followers are cisgender women and men. And I saw a bunch of them on here that now have a different aspect or a different mindset when it comes to trans women, because it's not just about, oh, fucking and sucking or whatever the case may be. Now they see we have issues, we have things that we go through in our own community. Not all of us will agree, not all of us are on the same page. It's the same fucking thing. James. And if we continue to have these conversations, you know, if we continue to have these conversations in the dark, we can't expect them to understand where we're coming from when we bring them to the light just in the boardrooms. So I really thank you so much for offering your time.
You are so welcome. Girl, they write. You see what everybody's writing. See what I'm saying? Sis? They're writing. Real Hustle of Atlanta is the one they talk about. But I'm so appreciative, Hope. And I want to just tell everyone that's watching this, ladies, if you guys need any help with your resumes or just like learning about, you know, career attire, what's appropriate to wear to work, anything, you can inbox me. I posted on my page. If you need help with putting together your resume, I'm busy with schoolwork, but if I can just find the time, I will help you. Check my, you can check my website. It was up, it's been giving me a certificate tag, but it's not crowded.org. And soon by May, I'll have the financial literacy portion up on there, and hopefully you and I can speak, but that should be up soon. Yeah. And the scholarship is still available. I'll be giving it away in the fall. I've only raised like $800. My goal is to raise $4,500. Nobody wants to donate. The $800 is still there. For anybody that's donating to GoFundMe, I don't need it. Just to let you know, so y'all are not donating no money to me. If y'all are donating to the GoFundMe, I don't need it. I'm just keeping it real. Because they think that when they see GoFundMe that you already take the money. Fortunately, I don't need it. But my sisters do. My sisters definitely need it. And so I ask everyone to go and check the website, www.notcrowded.org, and to donate something. So love you, sis.
Awesome sauce, and love you too. I'm definitely going to, we have to do something else, because I was trying to get together and do a trans education week. And I want to have you on for one of those days where we go live and we talk specifically about resumes and work attire and different things like that. If you're open to it, one of these days that you have free. So I'll be in your inbox later.
Okay. Good night.
Alrighty. Night. Alrighty. Thank y'all so much for tuning into this. I know it started out rough. I know that it didn't, you know, whatever, but it turned into something that was beautiful, and I hope you guys respect and appreciate that. I don't have, you know, any malice towards the young lady that came on in the beginning. I don't feel no type of way, but please use the resources in the end of this conversation so that we can continue to build in a positive way for the trans community. I love y'all. Thank y'all so much for tuning in and staying to this. Hopefully once my other page is back up from being blocked, we can continue the conversation even more over there, and that's just where I'm going to keep this. Y'all have a great night, because it is not yet nighttime for me over here in California. I'm about to be out. I got to go powder my face because I look greasy as all outdoors. And please make sure you contribute to not only that organization, but Trans Social is an organization run by trans people for trans people to help trans people. So transtechsocial.org is the organization. Also, if you want to you know, donate to those things as well. I will see you guys later and all that jazz. Holla at me.